I started off this video with that intro because of this one answer from someone that asked a question on one Q&A one in time. They basically asked, I can't remember the exact question, but it was basically along the lines of, what is the most important scene in the Walten Files so far? Or like something along those lines. Like what's a good scene, or your favorite scene, or like something that like you enjoyed working on? And Martin's response to this question interested me in a way that made me think. So, let's read his answer out, shall we? He answers, Felix in the burial site and in the river. That, to me, is one of the most vital scenes in the series, and there's a lot of things later on that add to it and even recontextualize it. I mean, we already knew that Felix was going to kill himself because of what happened to Ed and Molly. Little do we know, maybe it's way worse than we think, than we could have ever imagined. So today I come to you, dear viewer, with a theory. And I'm going to delve into this theory as best as I possibly can. I've had this theory for a while. I've told everyone that I know about it, basically. And a lot of people believe it. And I just kind of wanted to make a video about it for a really long time. But yeah. So, what could possibly add to the scene of him like about to jump off and then relenting? It's a good question, isn't it? I mean, it's fairly obvious, like from like if you don't even dig that much deep into it. I mean, he killed his best friend's kids. But what if I told you there was an added meaning to that? We're going to go back to Bunny Farm right now and see the messages that Linda herself left behind. Here we go. Let's read them out together, huh? I'll mute it. So we can further understand where I'm going with this exactly. October 30th, 1964. Felix has been acting very weird lately. He's been drinking more than usual. I am very worried about him. I don't know what to do. He came home at 4 a.m. He was crying. He seemed very unstable and stressed. I don't know what to do. Hope I didn't skip anything there. Okay, let's keep going. I've been over Linda's notes a lot of times before on this channel, but I just wanted to set everything up here. I know I haven't talked here as much as I used to. This month has been so crazy. I moved in with Felix last week. So, before they lived together, they lived separately. He was very happy about it. Yesterday, Jack and Rose had their third child, a little girl. Her name is Molly. Jack and Felix have been pitching up the restaurant idea with a company that's interested in the project, the name Styrofoam Tech. Yep. So this was, I think, before they got married or something. It's almost like Christmas was nice. They built a doll, a gray rabbit, for Ed and Molly, named it Rocket. Felix drank a lot yesterday. This has been a problem for a while. He's a good person, but he doesn't want to address this. It's getting worse and worse, but he doesn't notice. He feels bad about it, but doesn't try to change. Isn't it so funny? Okay, sorry. Like, listen. I just want to set everything up for this theory properly. Listen, I am a number one Felix hater. He fucking sucks big time. But if this proposed theory that I'm about to suggest is true, then I mean, he's still a shitty person at the end of the day, but holy fuck, it's so much worse than we thought. But isn't it funny how Linda herself has even said that, like, he doesn't want to change. I mean, if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does. It's getting worse. He's so submerged with the project that he doesn't realize how much damage he's doing to himself, how much damage he's doing to me. He keeps going places only to drink. Sometimes he even stays at the warehouse for the sole purpose of drinking. He doesn't listen. He never listens. I don't know what to do, bro. I'm coming up with new ideas for this theory that actually support it with, like, this as evidence. This is the only time we've ever seen Felix submerge himself into something. And I think I know where I'm going with this. We're going to read out all the notes again, though. We have to. I'm going to try and read the next one as best as I can once again. I don't know what to do. I am so worried. I can't comprehend that. I've never been quite able to put that together. Dear Felix, by the time you're reading this, I shouldn't be home. I know you're confused. I'm confused too. What you said to me last week. This is the main part that I want to focus on for this theory, okay? What you said to me last week hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes. Hopefully, this opens your eyes too. Our relationship isn't healthy, and it never was. I'm leaving Brighton this morning. You're in a warehouse with Jack and the others as I'm writing this. By the time you're reading this, I'll be in Hurricane. I'll already be in Hurricane. I know you were busy today doing Jack a favor, something related to a party. I can't remember, but please go when you have the time. As to me, I'll try and build my own life while I still can. You should do that too. I love you. Goodbye. She still said I love you at the end, bro. I forgot about that. Like, we all... Listen, Susan X Linda is a great ship. It's an awesome ship, as a matter of fact, but the fact that she still said I love you at the end, even though she was leaving him, really says a lot. Like, they got married, and even though it's been confirmed by Martin at this point that they were, like, keeping up the appearance of being a good couple, they weren't, like, I forget what Martin said specifically, but it was something about, like, how they wanted to keep the illusion as a couple, or just they weren't really interested about being in love, and they were just a couple for the sake of being a couple. I think it was something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyways, yeah, man. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think Felix and Linda tried to conceive a child, and Linda miscarried. Now you might be thinking to yourselves, hold the fuck on, what? And to that I say, yeah, I agree, but I want you to look at the evidence of this. So, this is my interpretation of what Felix may have said to Linda, and why I think Felix, it didn't even occur to me until rereading this stuff that, like, it clicked for me. So, like, whenever, like, Linda was like, oh, he's so submerged with himself into this project, we have never seen Felix be submerged in anything besides alcohol. It's true. Like, we don't really see him be passionate about everything. Even in the commercial, it just kind of looks like he's doing his job and trying to imitate Jack's work ethic, even though he doesn't really have it. But, like, why would he be so submerged in, like, building Bonds? Because Bonds is a place for children at the end of the day. And Felix wanted a child. Linda also wanted a child, too. And before, I was like, oh, Felix's drinking habit started when Jack and Felix were in college, because it was confirmed that Jack and Felix met in college and everything. and wanted to come up with the idea of a children's restaurant place since college. And I proposed this idea of like, oh, that's how Felix got drunk. Because like everyone in their college years drinks so much and parties so much that they can become addicted to like substances like that. That's kind of what I proposed. And although maybe that's where it might have started, I don't think that's what got Felix addicted to alcohol anymore. I think because Linda had a miscarriage, Felix started drinking hard to cope with the loss of his unborn child. I think that is the reason and the moment when Felix started to become an alcoholic. Like, if you really think about it, it really seriously makes sense. And going back to what Martin said, he says that scene recontextualizes a lot. Like, I'm sure we're going to learn more about it if the theory is true. In terms of if I believe the theory is true, it's like a solid 65%. Like, it would make a lot of sense. Like, I think, like, the fact that Felix was going to kill himself at the end is made so much worse because not only could he not have a child of his own, but even when he did have children to take care of and have responsibility over, he fucking killed them. You hear me? He killed them. How could he live with himself if he couldn't even take care of the kids that he knew and loved? How was he ever supposed to be a father in the first place? Like, bro, this is dark as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. This theory has been brewing in my head for a long time. I can't take credit for it, for creating it. I just don't see a lot of people talking about it. But just know it's been around for a while, especially with the release of Walten Files 4. And I just think, like, why would Felix... I mean, killing your best friend's kids on accident would definitely, like, push someone over the edge. Like, bro, like, you fucked that up big time, but it's like he fucked up in another way entirely because that just solidified to him that he can't be responsible with his own child if he had one. Like, if this is real, if this is where the story is going with Felix and Linda, I don't, like, dude, I don't know how I'm going to react to that, because, like, this series is dark enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, man. But if we're pulling this type of stuff out, like, it's just, for Felix, it is insanely tragic. Linda, even more so. And I want to talk about what Linda says here. What you said to me last week really hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes. What do you think Felix said to him? Now, in my opinion, corroborating with this theory, I think it would be Felix saying something like, I know this is going to sound awful, but he said something really hurtful to her. Because Felix, as confirmed by Martin, is more so to be the unabusive type, but there's also abuse and neglect as well. So I really think that's what's happening here. But this time, I think Felix said something along the lines of, how could you not have this baby? That baby was supposed to be ours. Like, it makes sense that Linda would be insanely hurt and insulted by that, because it's not Linda's fault that she miscarried. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Felix really did say something like, you were supposed to have that child, but you failed at doing that. Like, dude, Felix has not been shown to be that evil outwardly yet. Like, outwardly. Inwardly, and his inaction of every single murder, as, like, just watching over his friends and coworkers getting murdered as Shadow Man, that's evil. Like, like Linda said, he absolutely refuses to change. And I have said this many times before as well. Like, it can't be understated how deeply rooted his unwillingness to change truly is. Like, it's really, really insane. Like, I don't know why he is so allergic to being the change that he sees in the world, but he just is. He just is. I don't know why. We're gonna learn, because, like, episode 5 and 6 are dense with shit and everything, but, like, fuck, man. I'm just excited to get to the bottom of, like, what, like, makes Felix tick. And I want to learn more about Linda. And I want to actually see their relationship on screen. That would be an absolute treat. Because it's a very important, like, stepping stone in the series. Because May 2nd was a day right before Ed and Molly died. It just so happens that Linda left Felix right before he accidentally kills Ed and Molly. Like, you cannot make this shit up, man. It could not have been at a worse time. And I'm just thinking back to Connor's audition tape as Felix, where he made an AU about him making the right choice for the first time. And dude, it's just so fucking sad. It really, really is. It hurts. It hurts to think about how many times Felix could have made a different choice. And, bro, I'm not confirming anything, but what if he did say something truly disgusting like that? Blaming Linda for the fact that she miscarried their child. I couldn't tell ya. It's way too vague, but I connected some ideas together and was hoping to put something together. Now, this was a bit of a shorter video. I just wanted to put it out there because this has been in my head for a long time, and it has made sense to me ever since I concocted all the ideas and put them together. Like, what brought about Felix's alcoholism truly. Like, he may have had alcohol in college because, of course, that's what you do in college, right? Apparently. What, like, how, like, badly Linda was hurt by Felix. What they went through as a couple. Like, what little tiny bite-sized pieces that we got of their relationship through these notes here. Like, it opened, like Linda says, it opened her eyes to, like, how bad Felix was. Like, he said something awful, like something really disgusting and evil, and it fits that theory. Like, Linda being blamed for a miscarriage honestly sounds like something Felix might do. Like, if he was in a really, like, drunken state. Because, again, I believe if this theory is true, like, this is what truly brought about his alcoholism. And he himself was hurt because maybe he believed that having this kid would get Linda closer to him. As crazy as it sounds. Like, I can see Felix believing something like that. You know? And, alright. I'm going to end this by playing you off with the same scene I talked about earlier at the beginning of this video. And really think about everything that I've told you. And really understand what caused Felix to do this. I don't know. It's just really sad.